So now I'm going to turn to a discussion about the role and responsibilities of the registrars who work with boards of ordained ministry and district committees. Just joining in, my name is Meg Lassiat, and I'm the Director of Candidacy, Mentoring, and Conference Relations for the Board of Higher Education and Ministry. I work with boards of ordained ministry in the development of resources and the use of the Online Candidacy Application System, or OCAS. This presentation will outline the overall work of the registrars and will provide basic overview of the Online Candidacy Application System. A candidacy process and legislative action coming out of General Conference will be presented in detail during the September 12th webinar that GBHEM is offering on legislative changes. To the board chair, the registrar is the only other officer made by the discipline. For each board can determine the number and types of registrars it will utilize. They vary from one annual conference to another. Annual conferences that have hired or appointed a staff person to work with the board, the candidacy registrar and the online candidacy responsibilities are often assigned to that person. With this presentation, the Book of Discipline numbers that I refer to are from the new 2012 Book of Discipline. I heard that the new discipline will be available sometime in December. In the meantime, you can refer to the posted draft edition at gbhem.org/BOM. Which is sometimes called the BOM registrar, contains records for all those in the candidacy, licensing, and ordination application processes, and coordinates the responsibilities of any associate registrars. The registrar works with each district committee registrar to ensure appropriate communication among district committees and the board, to maintain consistency in the application process across the annual conference. There also works closely with the board and conference secretary to report information for the business of the annual conference report and the clergy session. Board will provide responsibilities for work related to deacons, elders, and local pastors by assigning an associate registrar to oversee the licensing and ordination processes for these different groups. Your situation and the number of candidates and provisional members your conference interviews each year, you may want to consider registrars to coordinate application, transfer, certification, and specialized ministry as well. To discuss the questions on the slide. Who knows which registrar position for your board? Has your board named the appropriate number of registrars to meet the application needs you will manage each year? What's the abilities of your BOM staff person? Any areas of the board's work we may want to consider adding a registrar. We'll be monitoring the Q&A panel, and you can type questions in there as well. It's located on the right side of your screen. If we don't have time to respond to your question today, I will follow up with you at the end of the week. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes to talk about this. I'm going to draw us back together now. Disciplinary requirements for the work of the registrars are outlined in paragraphs 635.2 and 3 and include communication, reporting recommendations for candidates, making accurate records, ensuring appropriate confidentiality in the application process. As the registrar's responsibilities, keep in mind that many of these tasks apply to both BOM and district registrars. We have a district candidacy registrar for each district committee who maintains records on the progress and status of candidates until received into provisional membership, licensed, or discontinued. When receives a license for pastoral ministry, and begin serving as a local pastor, the district committee is still responsible for the annual approval of that person's license. For the records for local pastors may or may not be kept by the district registrar. You may decide to assign that task to someone else, depending on how many local pastors and candidates are in each district for your annual conference. The registrar for the district functions in many ways like the BOM registrar, but at the district level. The responsibilities are twofold. To receive written information about the process, your board's timeline, and any upcoming deadlines. District committees and boards also need to be kept aware of where each candidate is in the process. When a candidate comes for an interview, the registrar should be able to inform the committee what decisions for recommendation or action need to be made by the committee, and the registrar should know the process and requirements for each vote. For example, a vote to certify a candidate must be a 3/4 approval and a written ballot. Registrars are responsible for ensuring that all candidates received prompt verbal and written communication regarding the outcome of all decisions made either by the district committee or the board. Documentation includes the reasons for the board's decision, and in the case of a delay or a denial, any requirements that the candidate will need to complete before reapplying should be clearly explained. Documentation of interview decisions is critical in helping the candidate understand the decision and any requirements that result from the interview. BOM and district committee will also need a written history in a candidate's file as that person proceeds through the candidacy, licensing, and ordination process. The detailed work that goes into the record-keeping responsibilities. The Council on Finance and Administration has provided guidelines for maintaining personnel and supervisory files for all candidates and clergy. Those guidelines are in Chapter 3 of the current BOM handbook posted on GBHEM site, and will be in Chapter 27 of the new BOM handbook when that becomes available. Now, where the handbook is located. To get there is to type in gbhem.org/BOM. There that we have the different chapters posted as separate PDFs. You download the areas that you need as related to the work you are doing. The work of the district committee is here in Chapter 2, and the work of the registrars is in Chapter 3. We already revised the registrars chapter and will make that available to you at the end of this presentation. The handbook is for the 2009 quadrennium, and I am working to get this updated by this fall. Questions come up around the issue of confidentiality. Parameters of what candidates can expect regarding confidentiality versus what clergy who are not members of the board can request to see when making a decision about a recommendation during a clergy session of the annual conference. The registrar is responsible for protecting candidates against any undue invasion of privacy, ensures that information is not divulged to inappropriate parties. However, and this is from paragraph 635.2M, it is the right of the clergy session to request and receive all pertinent information, confidential or otherwise, related to the qualifications or character of any candidate or clergy member of the conference. 635.2M, which was previously 635.2L, provide lines for this question. Additionally, that paragraph refers to Judicial Council decisions 406 and 751 that outline the basis and understanding of candidate and clergy confidentiality, conference relationship, and membership status decisions. If your conference is working with this issue, I encourage you to read those Judicial Council decisions. I'll be sharing this PowerPoint slide with you at the end of the session today. So if you don't get everything that is on these next slides, it will be available for your reference. We're finished today by looking at the Online Candidacy Application System, which is also known as OCAS. The Candidacy Registrar maintains a lot of the system for your annual conference, including adding trained candidacy mentors or updating mentors for candidates. Trains those in your conference how to use the system. Read the questions from your annual conference and GBHEM when there are questions or problems with the system's operation. An overview of OCAS, let me show you how to link there from the GBHEM webpage. It's the GBHEM webpage, and then go to gbhem.org/begin-candidacy. This is to our candidacy page. Look over on the right side where it says important announcement. Candidacy enrollment is now available online. That is a link to the Online Candidacy homepage that you're seeing here. And then to this screen is to simply type canapply.gem. Take you straight to the homepage as well for OCAS. New registrars should have received an email invitation to create an account in OCAS. If you are a new candidacy registrar and have not yet received an invitation to create this account, please contact Paula Gardner-Porter this week and she can assist you. I'll be her contact information later in this presentation. Screen for the Online Candidacy System. Note here that there is a link for you to add a bookmark to your browser to save this page. If you forget your password, you can click on this link right here to set your account. GBHEM does not keep records of users' passwords. We do not know that, so this is the only way that you are able to reset your account. And into your account, this is a page you'll see as a candidacy registrar. When you want to invite a new candidate, click Invite Candidate tab and complete the required information and select Save and Invite. This is an invitation email that is immediately sent to the candidate. There's no lag time in how long it takes the system to send the invitation. Before you enter a new candidate, please make sure that that person has entered candidacy@gbhem.org into their contact list. If it doesn't do that, the invitation sent by OCAS may go into their junk mail, or their email address will not allow them to receive that email from this account. To assign a different mentor to a candidate who is already in the system, you'll need to use the Assign Mentor tab. The steps on this slide will walk you through how to make that switch. We need to do that. The basic functions that are used by candidacy registrars in the operation of OCAS. I also highly recommend from the home page on the online system that you link to the Navigating the Online Candidacy process. It's in the home page on the bottom. That will provide you with a user's guide and more information about the details of OCAS. Gardner-Porter is also available to work with candidacy registrars as they become assimilated to using the new system. Additionally, at the BOM Quadrennial Training event in Dallas, we offer 2 workshop sessions, one dedicated to understanding the candidacy process and another to using the online system. These sessions are developed with registrars in mind, so it is helpful for this person to plan to attend this event in Dallas if at all possible. Some of the most popular questions we field in the candidacy office. We don't know nor keep track of your passwords. The only way to access your account again if you forget your password is to reset it. Additionally, one of the concerns we have is in mentors or the annual conference not completing Form 113 when a candidate has either been withdrawn, denied, or certified. This information for a couple of reasons. We use Online Candidacy System to confirm that a candidate is certified when that person is applying for a scholarship from GBHEM. If the system doesn't show the certification, the candidate won't meet that qualification and therefore won't qualify for scholarship funds. Finally, tracking the outcome of a candidate's process for history, if the candidate ever happens to move to a different annual conference, begin candidacy again there. This common question we receive comes from those who haven't received an invitation email even though they've been entered into OCAS. Everyone who uses the system, whether they're candidates, district superintendents, registrars, or BOM staff, need to enter candidacy at gbhem.org into their contact list. This is the only way to ensure that emails sent by the system won't go into junk mail. To enter this email address before a new user is invited into OCAS. Psychological assessment process. About half of the annual conferences right now use GBHEM to administer candidates' psychological assessments. These are the most popular questions regarding that process. Release information forms need to be returned together with the completed assessment packet. Additionally, Form 112, the form that initiates the psychological assessment process, must be completed online. Provide a psychological assessment retest if your annual conference finds it necessary for a candidate. In that, please contact the assessment coordinator so we can walk you through the steps for that process. Questions about the use of OCAS or about the psychological assessment process, please contact Paula Gardner-Porter. If you are a candidacy registrar and don't yet have access to OCAS, it may mean that GBHEM has not received your annual conference's update officers list. Paula will be able to work with you in providing access to OCAS. This portion of the webinar, I want to show you the banner head that our office uses for e-newsletters. The one for registrars is purple. It has the same format, but this one is purple. I heard from a few people lately that they still are not receiving these newsletters, which is that GBHEM does not have your updated contact information for the new board officers. Let me know if that is the case, and we can work with you to update officers for the new quadrennium. My information is on the next slide. Send me an email or type something in here and I will follow up with you. We have sent out information for the September 12th webinar on legislation, as well as information about the BOM Quadrennial Training event that will be in Dallas. Registration is open for each of these, and there is information in the e-newsletters on how to register. To wrap up this section, I want to again remind you of the gbhem.org/BOM page. As you prepare to train your district committees and new boards, the Training Resources page has a collection of information that will help you in developing the content for those sessions.